Hello, EJ76 Ian here. Welcome to round 3 of the Gt3 AOR Season 9. This is the Red Bull Ring from Austria. As you can see, it's very wet and very foggy, and we're starting in a poor 14th place out of, I believe, 16 cars, although we effectively started 13th because one of the cars binned it on the formation lap and couldn't then retake his spot. So we're in the Renault RS01, which is the black and orange car at the back, and you'll see immediately that we haven't got our lights on. We're not the only ones. We're supposed to by AOR rules, but thankfully we're not thrown out. I thought I'd press the button. When you're actually driving, unless you change the view, you don't actually see whether you've got your lights on. This is a view from the replay that was saved, so I was actually driving with bonnet cam for this race. So at the moment we're up to P11, I believe. Made a steady start, unlike in the last race where we threw it away at the first corner, the first race. So tricky conditions, so it's just a question of keep it on the road. And as you can see on the first lap, people started sliding all over the place. This is the cockpit view from further around this first lap, and there's trouble ahead. You can sense it. A couple of cars come together. There's cars in the middle of the track. I have to back out, but we've made up another spot. And you can see on the left hand side, you can't really see there, later on you will, there's a big puddle that you have to avoid, which is on the racing line, and it's hammering it down, and the fog is pretty bad as well, so the visibility is pretty atrocious. We go pretty wide into the penultimate corner. That was better taken. This race, of course, is used for the Austrian Grand Prix, so we know it from our F1 gaming. And a car goes wide in front of us. We do exactly the same in sympathy. And my wife at the time said, "What did you do that for?" Well, it was a mistake, so that's why I did it. And there's cars all over the place, so we're up to P10, I think, at this point. And another car goes off wide. This is a little bit later on. It's an hour race, so a long timed race, so not a specific number of laps. Now we're having an interesting battle with Matt Hillier. Darren McCoy hits us once, and then again Matt Hillier, sorry, and he gets through. So that's probably the biggest bit of contact we're actually going to have all race. So we've lost a couple of spots down to 9th. Further on round the lap, a few laps later, in fact, Darren McCoy runs wide, so we get that position back. We're up to 8th. And then we really are tiptoeing around this corner. And Cam, who started on the wrong tyres, who's made a pit stop, has come storming through the field, and he takes us. And we're down to 9th. There's that puddle on the left, you can see, just about there. You could just brush it, but you can't put your wheels too far over to it. I did that once, and I nearly spun it in this race, and Cam unfortunately hit us. As Cam runs wide into the right-hander, and we get past him again. So he and I are swapping positions a few times. You can see how bad the fog is from this view. And at this stage, I thought Cam was probably quicker, but we are doing what we normally do in these races, and being cautious and making sure we just don't make mistakes. And that's the moment where I hit the puddle. Unfortunately, I slowed down suddenly and Cam had nowhere to go, so I apologise to him for that after the race, but I think he continued with little or no damage. Further on round, I believe, the next lap, and we're still chasing down Cam and our teammate Mr. ZNL. And you can see we really should have our lights on now. We haven't. The visibility wasn't too bad inside the cockpit. Further around the lap, and Cam takes Mr. NL, sorry, our teammate in the play seat Renault RS01, and we are catching him. And are we going to go up the inside for P8? No, you really have to be fully alongside the braking zone to make a move into this fairly tight right-hander. And now the long blast up the hill. And it's who can be bravest on the brakes. We're not quite close enough, but we hope to pressure our teammate into a mistake. He goes to the inside as Cam runs wide 2 cars ahead, but he defends the position well. Further on round the next lap, though, Cam spins, our teammate collects him, and we do a good job of avoiding both, and we've moved up to P7. Okay, this is the view that we had, and we've got Matt Hiller, who's come to a copper with our teammate, who's now a lap down, and they've collided, which is unfortunate. So we've gained a spot on Matt, and we've moved up to 6th place. And I was just being careful that our teammate had definitely seen us, and he does. He backs out the throttle, lets us through, so we got our way in 6th. So this is coming down to the last corner. We had a really good battle with Cam, who was 1 to 3 seconds behind us for several laps until he had I believe a mistake. He dropped back to 6 or 7 seconds behind. So the last couple of laps we could take it easy and make sure we don't make a mistake. I'm really delighted to get 6th place from 14th on the grid. Very little mistakes as others were making mistakes, and our first decent result in the 3rd round of the championship. And Ice, the Danish driver, won the race, and next time up is Silverstone next Sunday.